So the second thing I also want to talk about is that, if the weather's bad outside, it is definitely great to stay indoors, but not just to stay indoors to get away from it. You should have some kind of project. So here's a couple of things that you could do. First thing I'd recommend, read something. Especially if you're going to be stuck indoors, it'd be a really great time to just sit back, relax, and do something that you normally wouldn't do, like read. A lot of times, especially reading, which is really, really great, it gets your juices flowing in terms of your creativity, your imagination, or even just being inspired by a book or something. A lot of times we don't set the time for ourselves to do it. So read. Go inside, read something, and make it a journey. What I like doing is when I read or when I get somewhere where I want to relax and read a book, I get relaxed. If it's a cold day, rainy day, I snuggle up. I make some hot cocoa or hot chocho, I like to say, or my sisters taught me how to say hot chocho, and I just read and stay there for hours on end. If it's more of a hot day, I'll make lemonade. I'll do the same thing. Maybe even cook a barbecue or whatever. And those are a couple of things that you could also do as well too. Just make it a journey for yourself. Make it an occasion. So it's not just centered on, of course, you sitting down and reading a book. I would also recommend, I mean, everyone's going to read their own thing, but I would recommend reading something that you've been wanting to read. Have things reserved. I have a bookshelf full of stuff, and I can't show it to you right now, but it's right there. But there's a bookshelf full of stuff that I have purchased, wanted to read, read tidbits of, but definitely during days like this, it would be a lot better, a lot easier to just go ahead and sit back, relax, and go through some poetry, some inspiration, some stuff like that I've always wanted to go through. And again, make it a journey. Another thing you can do is make something. DIY projects are really great for indoor stuff. I really recommend baking. If you haven't baked, try it. It's not super hard as long as you follow the directions, and it's easy to follow directions. It's easy just to go on YouTube and just look some people up. I don't know her personally, but I think it's Rosanna Pansini. I hope I say her name right, or the Nerdy Nummy. That's one of my favorite channels to watch. I've always wanted to actually bake one of those things, but never get the chance. A day like this, where it's all gloomy and stuff, it would be an awesome day. But any kind of DIY project. Maybe mine just goes to either baking or DIY projects around my room to actually make it a little bit more eclectic. Furniture projects or redesigning something. Do a little feng shui around your house. Just put things around and set things around. That's great too. Redecorate, clean up, make it a spring cleaning project. Getting more organized actually really does help, and that's a do-it-yourself definitely. And it's something really great when you find a project that you accomplish in a gloomy day when you feel so bored and so like, ugh, I don't know what to do. Accomplishing something, even if it's the same little thing like cleaning or reorganizing something, makes you feel like you didn't let the day go to waste. Another thing is, you can watch a movie or a show. In fact, I'd really recommend having like a movie or show marathon, a binge session. Yeah, it's like a lot of media and you usually don't want to binge. I don't really recommend binging so much, but sometimes you just want to make some kind of theme, or you want to go back into some show that you've always, like, so for me, I've always wanted to, of course never had the time, but gloomy days like this and maybe weekends when I'm not so busy, I would love to do something like a Lord of the Rings type marathon, maybe Back to the Future, because I really love that series of movies, that franchise. You can do that. You can binge a show that you've always wanted to binge, and what you can do is you can invite friends to do it too. Like, just, hey, like, you know what? It's a gloomy day. I know everyone's at home, stuck at home or wherever because of the rains, and you want to come over and like binge a show on Netflix that you've been wanting to watch. Heard there's a lot of really great stories right now, and I'm a big fan of stories, not just shows, but stories on several streaming outlets. You can do that. That's fine. And I think it's a little bit more entertaining when it's in a group. Yeah, you could do it alone. I've binged a lot of like anime. I've done that, and that's a lot of fun. But I think it's a lot nicer when you're binging it with friends, people that kind of get your fandom or want a fandom in certain things, and they can create a community with you. And again, just like I said with the whole DIY stuff, just what I said in terms of reading, make it an event. Make it so that it's enjoyable to you. Snuggle up and watch on your favorite TV, and like have your hot chocho or your coffee or your tea right beside you, and maybe some of your favorite snacks or whatever. And then just have a day at it. The last thing I want to talk about, but I already talked about it, was reorganize. Definitely reorganizing is a great thing. If you're going to be stuck in the house, reorganize something. Reorganize your room. There's something that changes in your mindset when things change around you. You feel more organized. After you organize something, you know where it is. So when you organize something, you know where it is, so you feel more centered. So I really recommend that. Again, DIY projects, maybe put up more shelving so you feel more organized. Or I would recommend both physical organization, like your room, cleaning up things that you've been waiting to do for a very long time. You can finally do when it's a gloomy day and you can't do anything else. Or you can do digital reorganization. This is for me, but organizing things like pictures that you've always wanted to organize and post up on the social medias, or if you wanted to organize other files on your computer. There's something very interesting about organizing your digital life that actually also makes you more accomplished, or makes you feel more accomplished. So I would really recommend that for you big computer nerds. Reformatting your computer, there's something really great when you know that you just tore out all the junk. I know it takes like hours to reset everything, redo everything on your computer, maybe get a new not screensaver, wallpaper on your computer, and just make everything look nice. I know it takes hours, but hey, if you're gonna be stuck at home anyway, going through that and making sure everything's working, your RAM's not bogged down from all this junk from like 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 or 20 games that you downloaded once and never played again, or different files that you put in your computer, or like maybe you downloaded movies or iTunes stuff and it's like, oh, you just want to clean things out. Digital reorganization really does help as well too. I know it helps me. It'll definitely help you. But for those of you that still live in the analog world, which is great too, I live in the analog world, physical organization really helps center your mind and center your heart to do the things that you actually do love to do when the weather is not so bad and it's not so muggy or whatever it's going to be. So that's basically it. Again, the reason I wanted to do this is because, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, again, it's raining in LA, and a lot of times we just think, oh, it's just a day lost. And a lot of times we see that, especially with maybe not rain, but with other times, other seasons within our life, things feel like they're just dragging along, or we're just going day to day. But there's a lot of things that you can really do that are just waiting for you. You can be creative. You can reorganize. You can get your life straight again. I think it's a really great... honestly, this is one of the reasons why I like the rain. I love the rain because it changes everyone's aspect. People find out what's more important. I know that feels weird. That seems weird. But yeah, like that's what I love about the rain. It washes everything away. It makes you more careful on the roads. It makes you more aware that you got to get things done, and you're more organized to do it because you have to do it more carefully. So yeah, I love the rains. The heat's kind of the same way. It keeps you from the outside and makes you stay inside, so you have to do stuff on the inside. So again, it kind of refocuses you. So I like it when someone throws a wrench. Well, I'll say it this way. I love it when God kind of throws a wrench in our plans by making the weather not so great, because it helps us recenter our lives better. So let that preach for a bit. So my name is Kuyapaul. I hope you guys drive safe in this not so great weather. But for me, I love it. I love the rain. If you guys love the rain as well too, and have other ideas of what you guys do during the times when the weather's not so great, leave in the comments below. If you just want to vent on how much you don't like the rain in LA because you thought LA had perfect weather, leave in the comments below. But once again, my name is Kuyapaul. Thanks so much. Take care. God bless.